Hi, my name is Tracy Nestidy, and this is my daughter Mila Nestidy. And we are here today to share a little bit about our story. So this year, 2024, I was nominated for the American Heart Association's Women of Impact, one of 5 women that were nominated. And Mila is one of the survivors for this year. So Mila, how old are you?
7.
7? Yeah, and so we wanted to share a little bit about Mila's story and really the why of why I want to raise as much awareness and funds for the American Heart Association. So Mila, when I was pregnant with Mila at our 20-week ultrasound, the doctor came into the room and shared that they had never seen anything like this as far as her heart. They shared that they didn't think she would be compatible with life because her heart was on the wrong side of her chest and the aorta looked like a candy cane. They did say because they didn't think she was compatible with life, if termination would be an option. So that started my husband Matt and I's journey of getting as much information as we could. We talked to countless doctors all over the country. I had a dear friend that gifted us with a medical advocate, which allowed us to reach out to different top medical centers in the country. And we realized that 6 to 8 weeks after that, we realized her diagnosis was transposition of the great arteries with dextrocardia. So her aorta and her pulmonary artery was flipped, meaning she would need life-saving surgery immediately after she was born. So our plan was to come back to Cincinnati because a world-renowned doctor and surgeon was in Cincinnati, Dr. Jim Tweddle. And so our plan was at 36 weeks to come back here and stay here until I went into labor. And unfortunately, at 34 weeks, I had a placental abruption and was rushed to the hospital in the middle of the night. They didn't know if she would survive. They wanted to take her by C-section, but by the grace of God, she stayed comfy inside my belly, and I had people all over the country praying for us. The doctors in Arizona had recommended us not to fly to Cincinnati at that point because of my condition. We had to medically sign out of the hospital. But I remember that moment thinking my mother-in-law and my mom came out, and I wanted my 2 other daughters, who were 2 and 4 at the time, I wanted them to go on a different flight because if something happened in the air to me, I didn't want them to be on the flight with me. And so we made arrangements for my other 2 daughters to fly separately with my mom and my mother-in-law, and I flew with my sister, who was a nurse. And Matt, my husband, drove our Great Dane across the country. So anyways, fast forward, nothing came about with the abruption, everything. I was on bed rest, and I had her at 40 weeks. She went into surgery at 4 days, and that surgery was 7 hours long. We were at Cincinnati Children's. Can you believe that? 7 hours. Do you remember the surgery? No. Her surgery was really successful, and we were thrilled. She did get MRSA in her incision afterwards, which was a continued treatment and a little complication. But all in all, she lives a very normal life and does all the activities. What sports and activities do you do? Soccer and basketball. Yeah. So she's able to live a very normal life, just cautious. You would never know by looking at her, other than in a bathing suit she has a scar down her chest, which, what do we call that scar?
Zipper.
Our zipper. It's our zipper. So sweet. And what do you think about your zipper?
I'm proud of my zipper.
You're proud? Yeah, I would be proud too. You should be proud. We have appointments every year with Cincinnati Children's Heart Institute. And Mila, I'd love for you to share anything that you want to share about your appointments every year.
I get goopy stuff on my chest and MRIs. And I look the MRI
Oh, okay. So for your echoes, they put goopy stuff on your chest, yes. And you prefer the MRIs better? Well, I don't know many people that would say that because you have to lay so still on your MRI, but you were a rock star. So that's what you prefer? Probably just because you get to watch the movies, huh?
And the shot doesn't hurt.
And the shot doesn't hurt when you get that? The biggest thing for me, my whole why of why I am trying to raise as much awareness and funds for the American Heart Association is because I saw firsthand what it did to our family, and it saved our daughter's life. So we're especially grateful because Cincinnati Children's gets almost 2 to 1 of the fundraising dollars back from the American Heart Association. And so, this year, this whole campaign from February 2nd to April 4th, we are going to be doing everything we can to bring in as much money for the American Heart Association because Cincinnati Children's just benefits so much. Thank you for supporting.